team picked up their first 2 wins of the year this week. They just hammered New Richland for their first win, and then they went down to Austin Thursday and had a wild 15-11 victory. So slowly coming along. They're about 2-9 for the summer.
They can hit the ball. I was watching them the other night, and they have some sticks, but the defense and the pitching, that's the key, like we talked about.
I got to tell you a funny thing that happened the other night. I was down watching the Owatonna Aces playing their amateur league ball. They had Pine Island was over there. They had some special dairy night, so it was kind of a fun, festive night where they had cows out there. They were milking them early and this and that. I happened to be running, so I thought I'd stop by and just take a peek and watch it. So as I'm watching, Pine Island's out in the field, and they have 2 outs, person on second base, and hot shot hit to the third baseman of Pine Island. He fields that beautiful glove, runs over, touches third, tosses the ball to the mound, and starts to run into the dugout. And even the runners out there think, what's going on here? What's he doing?
Trick play.
Yeah. So there you go with the mental aspect of the game, and then there you go. They end up with first and third then with still 2 outs right there. The guy just didn't mentally know that there was no force play on at that time. So I know we had talked earlier about the mental aspect of the game and stuff. Oh, and so I'm standing there, and they pull people out of the stands. Well, me and some other guy, we get to go out. You know the old milk cans that the guys used to carry?
Yeah, I used to carry.
Filled with water. We had to race from second base to home against 2 other Pine Island boys to see who could run with that and get there first. And
did you win?
What do you mean? Absolutely.
Of course.
We won. Yep. We get a free ice cream cone at the Steele County Fair coming up.
And knowing you, your can probably moved the fastest.
Can is much bigger now.
The VFW team are in the midst of a 7-game skid right now, and they had another good game the other night where Jordan Steffens threw a 2-hitter and got beat.
He's a tough little athlete in all sports, not just baseball. So when he's out on the mound, you're going to get a gritty performance every time from him.
Well, Jordan and Kevin Glenn and Zach Hiller, they're doing double duty, I know, this summer for sure. They're playing both Legion and Vets. So they're getting a lot of ball in this summer.
Kevin, I see he comes to Jump Soul Speed and Acceleration Program, and he gives me reports all the time, and I can't believe the number of games that kid is playing. He is playing a lot of baseball.
Yeah, I bet he's playing about 9 a week.
Yeah, that's a lot. I thought when we did 4 a week with the Braves back a long time ago, I thought that's good, that's plenty. They playing a lot of games.
Well, Ted, we'll jump into your territory because I see the Janesville Legion team must have finally played a game.
They did.
This summer. I see Adams put it to them.
Yeah. At least they've got it started, but it's going to take a while to build up. But a lot of, like Monday night when we had our Tuesday night, our ball game, I said, well, David's not going to be here because we're going to be at baseball. And then David walks in the gym and I said, so I'd rather play basketball than baseball. Well, you know, it's tough to do both, but you know, to get the program going, you got to have the commitment there. And right now, some of the guys are choosing, you know, that you got summer activities, and they'd say, I like this more than that. And I just hope that it goes for them because it's going to help them out during the regular season.
They have to get it going.
They got to have a feeder program, and right now they don't.
Yep, exactly. A couple teams around the area. I see Waterville Indians are about 12-2 this summer, having a great year. And I haven't heard much about them other than see their results, but evidently they're getting some pitching from somewhere. I'm assuming young Kenny Willine's probably pitching and one of the Geisler boys, but they've been pitching for a few years and have not dominated teams like they are this year.
And I know even Joe Gross, I believe he's the old, you know,
I think Joe,
old fella, but he's up at my age.
I think Joe has hung up.
I think he hung it up last year.
He did?
Yep.
Well, I was,
at the end of the season. I mean, he said
his wife cleans my teeth, and she's
well, that's got to be the gospel then.
She said he wasn't going to play this year, but he was going to go down and help manage.
Wow.
But knowing Joe, I can just imagine he might have been snuck in a game or two at least for us.
Check on that because I think his sister had to go sell hot dogs, she was telling me, and then she came back after selling hot dogs and said he threw some.
Oh, well, maybe.
So we go with a hygienist or we go with a sister? I don't know which one we're supposed to believe.
The New Richland Reds are enjoying about a 7-3 summer. not bad. And one of their wins was a 2-1 gem against Waterville with Vinnie Van Englenberg still throwing.
You talking
Now
about?
there's a name from the past. Hey, Alden Conger,
Wow.
Vinnie Van Englenberg.
Man.
Is Josh Barron still playing for Waterville? Because
I don't know.
He's a tough little son
Yeah,
of a gun.
he played last year.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten over to see them yet this
Okay.
year. And the Morristown Mories are having a winning summer
They got a
also. They're
team?
about 9-6.
Uh-huh.
So good baseball in the area. I wish a little more of it would filter to Waseca.
Well, maybe we can get the draft going here. We got to what, the end of July?
End of July.
Yep.
I want to bring up something. We're going to have the first annual Todd Mann Memorial Golf Tournament. And it's going to be August 23rd at Lakeside. And we're looking for 4-man teams. We're looking for whole sponsors. And all the money that is made in the tournament will go to the Waseca Baseball, Softball, and Hockey Associations. So I think this is a tournament that'll probably stick around for a long
Oh, yeah.
time. You don't have to worry about getting ringers on your team because basically I don't think they're going to pay the winners anything. It's just you're going to be announced as a winner and all the money. There'll be raffles on the course. There'll be a silent auction with Twins, Wild,
Jeez.
a lot of stuff that's going to be bid on. And if you want a good time, mark August 23rd on the calendar because that'll be the Todd Mann Memorial. You'll start seeing some flyers around town now. You'll see it advertised on this website. I'm sure you'll see it in the paper and hear it from Don White on the radio. So mark down August 23rd and get out and support a great cause.
And Narva, I know you're listening, but you are a terrible golfer. I tell you what, he and I were out at New Richland golfing. Number 9, he's trying to cut across the river on number 9. He smokes an iron, and no lie, the ball stuck in the Y or crotch of a tree, and that ball sat there for I don't know how long.
Well,
Speaking of that, Hafe did that once when we were playing doubles in tennis, where the guy at the net had the ball stick in his tail end as Hafe took off one of his wild serves. So I can top that story. anytime.
True story, yes.
well, if Nar was around, I don't know if we'd be able to con him into playing, but I know he'd be out there having a grand time.
Oh,
so.
yeah, absolutely.
He'd be in charge of the beverage cart. That's what he'd be in charge of.
Anything else? Oh, Ted wants to
Yeah.
talk about your favorite sports movies of all time.
Wait, how much time we got, Andy?
We got about 3 minutes.
Oh, that should be enough time.
Okay, Ted, you better
Well,
start
no,
her
I've been
out.
watching all these movies this summer. They're talking about this is a blockbuster hit, this is a blockbuster hit. You got to wear these 3D glasses and all this crap. And all of a sudden they come out with this werewolf film with the doggone, I don't know what they got in there with the vampires and stuff. I don't know, some Twilight thing. I'm thinking, let's make movies like the old days. What is your favorite sports movie of all time? Get rid of all this crud you see on TV right now and everything. So I came up with my all-time favorite movie.
Okay.
But I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, you want us to go first?
Yeah, why don't you
then?
guys go
Oh,
first?
Well, I got to go with the old tearjerker Brian song.
Oh, man.
I don't like sad movies.
I don't either, but
Except that one.
Yeah, Gail
That one
Sayers, for
was
those of you who
great.
don't know
Yeah.
Brian's song, and Brian Piccolo.
Gail Sayers, James Caan played Brian
Yeah,
Piccolo.
yeah.
Oh, man.
That was a good movie.
I've watched that 10 times since.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with The Longest Yard. That
Whoa.
was mine. I like my favorite play.
Prison movie?
My favorite play is where they let him blitz up the middle, and that pass hit its target.
And who was that? The middle linebacker that got nailed. Wasn't he
That
from
Ray
the Packers?
Nitschke?
Yeah, Ray Nitschke.
Ray Nitschke
Yeah,
had tears in his eyes.
He got drilled. Okay,
Okay, Ted.
well, you're not going to believe this, okay? But it
From
was a
you,
movie-
Ted, we believe
okay.
anything.
It was a movie called One on One with Robbie Benson.
I remember.
And he was
good.
a top shelf little high school player, and he comes from a small town. He goes to a big campus, and he can't cut the team because he's too fancy Dan and everything. The coaches just give him all kinds of crap, and they're beating him up in practice and everything. And in the last game, he comes out, and he's the big star, and then he tells the coach to shove it up with a red-hot poker. I just remember that
Yep.
line. But that was a good movie.
I
That was a
remember
good
that,
one.
yep.
Yeah,
I forgot
it was.
about
But
that.
that was,
Can I
that was
change
ancient.
mine?
Sure.
That was a good one.
I can't
liked
believe
it.
none of you guys said Hoosiers. They're the longest
I
yard.
love Hoosiers too, yeah.
The Blind Side, that's the most recent probably.
Yeah, I've watched all of those.
Andy, what, you got one?
No.
Okay. All right.
Well, we'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Sports Week, Sports Scoop.
Yep. and
We
it's
wish all of you a happy 4th of July. Be safe, have fun. I want to thank Steve and Maceo Anderson, the production team. Maceo's been working hard at this show.
I had to pet him a couple times, keep him down.
And thanks, of course, to Hafe and Teddy, my sidekick stooges, and most of all, thanks to you for watching.
Happy 4th of July.
See you next week.